The NBA dazzles with high-flying dunks, clutch shots, and larger-than-life superstars, but beneath the polished veneer of the league lies a shadow world of controversy, violence, and shattered dreams. This is the dark side of the NBA, where fines pile up in the millions, fights erupt with devastating consequences, and promising careers vanish into obscurity. Buckle up as we peel back the curtain on the raw, unfiltered truths that the league would rather you forget, exposing real events, shocking scandals, and the human cost of a game that's as brutal as it is beautiful. Fines, the price of chaos. The NBA's disciplinary system is a machine, churning out fines and suspensions with ruthless efficiency. Players, coaches, and even owners face penalties for infractions ranging from trash talking to tampering. But the numbers are staggering. Take Ben Simmons, who racked up a record-breaking $17 million in fines during the 2021-22 season for refusing to play for the Philadelphia 76ers while demanding a trade. This wasn't about flagrant fouls or locker room brawls. It was a calculated standoff that cost him more than most players earn in a career. The fines, settled at $20 million with the 76ers, didn't just dent his bank account, they tarnished his reputation, turning a three-time All-Star into a cautionary tale of defiance gone wrong. Then there's Draymond Green, the Golden State Warriors' fiery enforcer, whose career fines total over $2.2 million, including $992,000 for actions toward officials and $3.2 million in lost wages from suspensions. His latest $50,000 penalty in May 2025 came for questioning the integrity of referees during a playoff game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Caught on camera as he commented on the 5.5-point spread, Green's outbursts are part of his brand, but they come at a cost, both financial and to the narrative of a league desperate to maintain its polished image. Fines aren't just for players. In 2005, Houston Rockets coach Jeff Van Gundy was slapped with a record $100,000 fine for claiming referees were targeting Yao Ming with excessive fouls prompted by complaints from Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban. Owners themselves aren't immune. Take the Minnesota Timberwolves, who were hit with a $3.5 million fine in 2000 for an under-the-table deal with Joe Smith, a salary cap violation that rocked the league's competitive integrity. These penalties are more than slaps on the wrist. They're a reminder that the NBA polices its own with an iron fist. But at what cost to fairness and transparency? The question lingers, where does all this money go? The NBA funnels fine revenue into charitable programs, a noble gesture on paper. But as players like Matt Barnes, who faced 14 fines over his career for everything from throat chopping to trash talking, have pointed out, the system can feel like a trap. Barnes, a self-described villain, earned nearly $30 million in his career, but felt misunderstood, his fines painting him as an outlaw rather than a competitor. Fights, the violent underbelly. The NBA's history is scarred with moments of raw violence that expose the primal edge of competition. The most infamous is the Malice at the Palace on November 19, 2004, when a brawl between the Indiana Pacers and Detroit Pistons spiraled into chaos. It started with Ron Artest, now Meta World Peace, fouling Ben Wallace, igniting a skirmish that saw Artest retreat to the scorer's table, only for a fan to hurl a drink at him. Artist charged into the stands, followed by teammates, leading to a melee that left players and fans injured. The fallout was brutal. Artist was suspended for 86 games, losing $5 million in salary, while teammates Steven Jackson and Jermaine O'Neal faced suspensions of 30 and 15 games, respectively. The teams were fined, and the league's reputation took a hit it's still recovering from. But the malice wasn't an anomaly. In 1984, Larry Bird and Julius Dr. J. Irving, two of the game's biggest stars, clashed during a Celtics 76ers game. Bird, dominating with 42 points to Irving's 6, trash-talked his way into a fight, with Irving landing punches before both were ejected and fined a combined $15,000. This wasn't just a scuffle, it was a collision of egos that showed even legends aren't above the fray. More recently, in December 2024, Joel Embiid was suspended for shoving a media member. A reminder that the NBA's zero-tolerance policy on physical altercations extends beyond the court. The league's rules are clear. A punch, whether it connects or not, or an elbow above shoulder level triggers automatic ejection and fines up to $50,000. Yet, these rules raise questions. Are they protecting players or sanitizing a game built on passion and physicality? The 2006 Knicks-Nuggets brawl, which saw Carmelo Anthony throw a sucker punch and both teams fined $500,000, showed how quickly tempers flare and how harshly the league cracks down. The dark irony is that fighting, once a hallmark of the NBA's gritty 1980s and 90s eras, is now a relic the league once buried. The bad boy Pistons and Pat Riley's Knicks thrived on intimidation, with players like Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn embodying the enforcer role. Forgotten careers, dreams turn to dust. For every LeBron James or Kevin Durant, there are countless players whose careers implode under the weight of scandal, injury, or bad decisions. Jason Williams, a former Nets All-Star, is a tragic example. In 2002, while showing off a shotgun during a mansion tour, Williams accidentally killed his limo driver, Kostas Christofi, acquitted of serious charges but ordered to pay $2.75 million in damages. Williams' 9-year career was overshadowed by a single reckless moment. Once a promising talent averaging 13 points and 14 rebounds in his All-Star season, he's now a footnote, his legacy tainted by tragedy. Then there's Paul Pierce, who narrowly escaped a darker fate. In 2000, the young Celtic star was stabbed 11 times in a Boston nightclub, nearly dying from wounds to his face, neck, and back. Teammate Tony Batty and Pierce's brother rushed him to a hospital where lung surgery saved his life. Pierce went on to become a Celtics legend, but the incident is a stark reminder of how close a career can come to being erased by violence off the court. Javaris Crittenton's story is even bleaker. A promising guard for the Washington Wizards, his career derailed after a 2009 locker room incident where he and Gilbert Arenas brought guns to settle a gambling dispute. Arenas, who brought 4 unloaded guns, faced a 50-game suspension, but Crittenton's life spiraled. By 2011, he was out of the NBA, and in 2015, he was sentenced to 23 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter in an unrelated case. A career that could have been is now a cautionary tale of talent squandered. The bigger picture, a league at a crossroads. The NBA's dark side isn't just about fines, fights, or fallen stars. It's about a league grappling with its identity. The 2004 Malice at the Palace forced a reckoning, leading to stricter rules and a pivot away from the hip-hop culture the league once embraced. Baggy shorts, throwback jerseys, and even tights were banned in 2005, moves critics argued were less about professionalism and more about race and optics. The league's embrace of country music at the 2005 All-Star Game, mocked by Charles Barkley, was a clumsy attempt to rebrand, distancing itself from the raw edge that defined its past. Scandals like Tim Donaghy's 2007 betting scandal, where the referee bet on games he officiated, further eroded trust. Donaghy's 15-month prison sentence and $30,000 in kickbacks exposed vulnerabilities in the league's integrity. Fans still question whether games are rigged, pointing to controversial calls in pivotal moments, like Game 5 of the 2006 Finals. Conclusion: shadows in the spotlight. As fans, we're left to wonder, is the NBA's dark side a flaw to be fixed, or the raw human heart of a game that thrives on passion? One thing's certain, these shadows aren't going anywhere, and they're as gripping as the game itself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you.